The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
C.D. Lamb, touchdown.
Parsons has sacked it. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, and Kyle Youmans.
It's a Thursday edition of Talkin Cowboys presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company, live from the Star in Frisco, Texas, and the SWBC studios. Welcome in, everybody. We've got the whole cast and crew ready to rock for you today. Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Isaiah Stanback, Chris Beam in the back. I'm Kyle Youmans. Today we preview the Dallas offense going up against the Washington Commanders defense led by one Dan Quinn.
That sounds familiar.
That guy.
Well, okay, if that sounds familiar, what about the defensive coordinator, Mr. Joe Witt Jr.?
That name sounds oddly familiar as well.
What about a guy who's third in the NFL in sacks right now? His name is Dante Fowler Jr.
Wasn't he?
He was a cow.
What about his running mate and a guy named Dorrance Armstrong?
That name I know.
That one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dorrance.
Yeah.
He's Dallas Cowboy, right?
Former.
They were rotational players for the Cowboys, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, and they're playing pretty well, to say the least. We'll have QB Vision coming up in the second segment. And then here's the thing. We have Talkin Tuesday usually, right?
Yeah, we do.
Where we get to take the phone calls and we get to listen to fans.
We missed you guys.
We missed it this week. So guess what? Today is a Talkin Tuesday because we're due to talk to Cowboys fans.
I like that. See what you did.
That are on the way.
See what you did.
Talkin Tuesday. So we're going to do that in the
Why
third
not
segment.
just a Talkin Thursday?
That's lame.
Oh.
Talkin Tuesday is more impressive. Yeah, that was for Josh. That wasn't for me. Or was it for me?
I didn't say that. I didn't point no finger at all.
I don't know. That was a stretch.
Talking Tuesday? Are you kidding me? That's
a stretch,
awesome,
bro.
Because we're due to talk to the Cowboys fans. That's
see where you went
phenomenal.
there.
Give
Honestly,
me the
Kyle,
credit where credit is due. Come on, now.
You're the man,
Get
dude.
it? Do.
Yeah.
Now you can hit the sounder. You can hit it
Credit's due,
again
yeah.
if you want to. All right. Let's get into some. Yeah, that's better. Let's get into some news and notes because there's a lot to catch up on from yesterday.
Yeah, that last sound effect, you might want to keep that handy for this this injury report. All right, so
I thought it was all good news.
not all good news. Let's start with the unpleasant. You ready to hit that sounder again, Beamer? Here we go. Zach Martin and Tyler Smith did not practice yesterday.
It does make you feel better.
Hunter Lipke did not practice yesterday.
The price is wrong.
We're rolling. Jake Ferguson, of course, as expected, did not practice yesterday. Now, here comes the good news.
All right, here we go.
All right. Brandon Cooks, Marshawn Nealon both participated in practice yesterday for the first time since going on IR, both in a limited capacity, but they are back in the mix with that knee issue. Both of them had knee issues. So limited for both, but talked to Brandon Cooks yesterday. He's in good spirits, said he feels great physically and has for a little while now. The only thing that was ever going on with him was they needed to wait for the infection to clear up and make sure everything was cleared out. So he says that is the case. Back at practice, he has a solid shot, he and Marshawn Nealon do, of taking the field against the Commanders. But like I said yesterday, keep in mind, Cowboys have another game 4 days later, so that's going to come into the decision-making process for both of those guys.
What has to happen for those guys to both?
They both have to be full participants at minimum.
What's that? What has to happen to the roster? Anything?
Yeah, because Cowboys need not just one, but 2 seats. Right. So, because Dak Prescott going to IR, that seat was taken by Josh Butler being signed to the active roster. So they're at a full 53 again. So if you want Brandon Cooks and or Marshawn Nealon back on the roster, you're going to have to make corresponding roster moves. What might that look like? We will see over the next couple of days ago if one or both of those guys are added to the roster. Here's another bit of good news. Daron Bland is back at practice.
Nice. In a limited capacity, right?
No.
Whoa!
Full practice for Daron Bland.
Nice.
Smash, smash, smash.
Heck yeah.
I love it. So I know there's the thought process outside of the building as far as now it's time to start making some business decisions on some of your star players, which is why Isaiah gave me the big eyes. I know where you're going with that. I don't disagree with you at all. But there are two trains of thought here. There's our train of thought, which which is you start considering protecting some of these more higher echelon players until 2025, like
Valuable.
a Daron Bland, instead of potentially risking another setback. We saw how long and drawn out his rehab was because he had a setback or two. But this is his first practice in over a month. He's back. He's in a full participation mode. Now the question is, can he continue that to even make it a conversation of if you're going to shut him down or if his body's just not going to allow him to take the field? Because we saw him have 2 full participations going into the Lions matchup. The third practice, he was DNP, and he's been DNP ever since. So let's see how he goes today.
He was not on IR.
Tomorrow. He was initially, but now he's not.
They
brought him off.
Correct,
Right.
yes.
So he's on the active roster. They can put him on a game day roster whenever they like. So, yeah, we'll end on the high note, Daron Bland, and then the discussion is open for fans. Would you or would you not play Daron Bland, and would you consider starting to shut down some of these other guys? Like DeMarcus Lawrence, he's not ready quite yet. By the time DeMarcus Lawrence is ready, we will be in December, and then that question becomes the same for DeMarcus Lawrence as well. So, yeah, interesting
his contract
dialogue.
situation?
DeMarcus, he's under contract for next year.
I'm sorry?
He's under contract for next year.
Oh, he is under contract.
Yeah. And Car, I saw you replied to Calvin Watkins on Twitter. You quote tweeted what he was having a conversation with D-Law, said he's not ready to play yet, but he said he wants to continue playing next year.
absolutely
He's not
does.
shutting it down.
He is not.
None of the speculation around that scenario. He's going to play.
He is.
It's just whether or not he's going to play at the end of this year or the beginning of next year.
Right.
He definitely
Or if
doesn't want to go out on an injury either.
Yeah.
That took him out, for virtually a big portion of the
and
season.
may not want to risk coming back in December and either re-aggravating or getting a new injury that could, negatively
Mess up.
impact his start for the offseason program, training camp. It's just, at that point, it's just too risky.
You're
Hell,
saying
at this
players
point,
have that power?
Sometimes.
depends on the player.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Depends on
Do you
the
feel
player.
like Daron Bland has that power at this point?
No.
Do you think he wants to go in?
Yes. I think he wants to play.
He absolutely wants to.
Yeah,
play.
he
I've
definitely
had
wants to.
plenty of conversations with
Yeah.
him.
Same thing with B.
he's ready
Cooks.
to go.
Yeah.
Brandon
Oh,
Cooks
yeah, of
wants
course.
to.
And before we forget, related sidebar, Marist Bell, the dark cloud has begun to rain on him. He's done for the season. He is expected to undergo surgery on that shoulder injury that we saw. Brutal shoulder injury that he suffered against the Texans. His season is done. That sucks on a lot of levels for a guy who has done everything the Cowboys have asked him to do. He climbed the ranks from undrafted free agent to he was on the practice squad exclusively as a rookie, earned his way into a starting role. They moved him in that starting role from safety to linebacker for Dan Quinn. Had his ups, had his downs, but he did everything you asked. And then this season on a 3-6 team, he's still out there leaving his body on the field. And it was a contract year for him as well because he'll be a restricted free agent. So they do have some rights to him next year, but he was really out there trying to continue to prove himself. So Marquise, heal up, get better soon, and keep your head up, guy.
Question, just because this league keeps changing. Can you explain for myself and the people what does that look like for him going into next year in terms of the Cowboys' ability to retain him? Because I know at least one team.
He's restricted.
He's restricted.
He's restricted.
Unrestricted means you can sign
Understood.
anywhere, and
yes.
there's
Yeah.
no.
What's the restricted?
Restricted
parameters?
is when you start talking about tender offers.
Yes.
Right. So first round tender, second round tender,
So
original
the team
round
is to
tender.
place a tender on him.
Place a tender on him, and if the other team wants him, then they have to
Give that up.
First of all, the Cowboys have the right to match.
They can match whatever.
And if they choose not to match and let that player walk,
That's when
then
tenders come into
the
play.
team acquiring the player has to give you the tender match,
What-
right? So if, example, let's say a David Irving, okay? So David Irving, if you put a second round tender on David Irving, if you lose David Irving, then because you chose not to match whatever the offer was from another team, let's say you're the 49ers and you acquire David Irving. Okay, well, you can have David Irving, but we get your second round pick or we get your first round pick. The problem with the tender is not the problem, but the added chess match with the tenders are the corresponding round is more expensive. A first round tender is more expensive for both teams to negotiate with this player than a second round tender. But when you're talking about an undrafted guy, it's original round tender, which is no round, right? So it's the least expensive of all of them. But the bottom line is the Cowboys have the right to match whatever offer they have they want or he gets.
And he has no say in that.
no.
No say. No say. If they place a tender on him.
Yeah.
In a rare situation, they could say we're not going to place a tender on you, and if they choose not to, now you're unrestricted.
That would be
but
silly.
that's extremely rare because why would a team give up their right?
There's
to
no
match an
reason
offer?
not to.
Zero.
Yeah.
But for bookkeeping,
Unless you are just
There are-
moving on from them anyways, and I don't think Bell's in that.
he's not.
There
They
are
can't.
teams in this division that would
Washington,
swoop, swipe and swoop.
like the one they're about to play. Yeah. So no,
In a heartbeat.
restricted free
Dante
agent.
Fowler Jr., Dorrance
yeah. You just named
Armstrong,
some.
Marquise Bell.
Yeah. And then offensively timed. Yeah,
That's why I asked the question, because I know how quickly he would be scooped up.
He would, but
He's a
Cowboys
player.
have the rights to him. So first round, second round, original round, most
So
expensive.
can they just get
more
crazy, be like,
expensive.
oh, first round pick, first round tender? Can they just throw that on anybody?
You could, but it's
no
gonna.
reason.
It has to
It'll
make
cost
sense,
you
and it's going to cost you more. So
Because the baseline floor of negotiation
Okay,
is
right.
significantly higher.
So respectfully to Marquise Bell, if you put a first round tender on him, knowing no one's going to be willing to
then
give
you're
that,
on the hook to
then
pay
you
him.
basically just guarantee that you're paying more than you would.
Gotcha.
have
Okay,
to.
that's what I was
Correct.
trying to get out of you. What's the responsibility of the organization when they place a tender?
It's to
right?
be reasonable.
Okay,
It's
because
to-
they have to now
be
fit the bill
reasonable.
for.
Correct.
All right, got you.
It's to be reasonable.
One
Good
thing
question. I know
do,
a lot of fans were wondering that too.
I think so too, and that's always fun. Not fun, but it's interesting to look at whenever you're going with players like that. When it is Marquise Bell specifically, as a guy who was an undrafted free agent, had the path that he did to get to where he is.
Wanye's in the same boat. by the way.
Wanye's in a similar boat. Brandon Aubrey's going to be in a similar boat
Restricted
whenever
free
that
agent.
comes up.
They better not let him get the.
That might be
That's
one
a
where
first
you'll
round.
see
That's
a
a first
first round, second round tender.
That's a first round tender.
He'll be in a similar boat down the line. I do
Your
want
team
to share.
MVP this year.
Fact.
Isaiah,
Fact.
you were standing there for post game outside the locker room at AT&T Stadium, and it was a special moment, but it was a heartbreaking moment at the same time. You probably know what I'm about to reference. Marquise Bell walked out of the locker room, and he had the sling or the arm in his sling, and I've never seen. Usually, he's very upbeat.
Yep.
He's very ear to ear, smiling all the time. Just a overall happy dude. Joyful, loves to be here. He's happy to be here. Well, he walked out, and it looked like his world had come crashing down. To a certain extent, it probably did because of the injury and the severity of it. As a Florida A&M guy, FAMU, he and Nate Newton have brought together a connection. I don't know if Nate would share this on Hanging with the Boys or not. Probably not. But it was a really cool moment because Nate was on the headset. We were about to do our post-game show, and he takes off the headset and goes straight over to Marquise Bell, and they sit there and kind of just have an exchange. It was just them two off to the side. But it was very much so a mentor-mentee conversation, and you could see the hurt in Marquise Bell's eyes because he wanted to be out there. He wanted that playing time. And there was some good leeway for him to get playing time as the year went along as well and to continue to take a step forward. It's really, that one sucks. That one sucks. Injuries always are a pain, and they are not fun for anybody. But especially that one, when you get to see that hurt from a player who's done what he's done to get to where he is,
Scratched
that
and
one
clawed.
was that
to
one was
climb
rough.
to the mountaintop just to have the rug pulled from underneath you from playing hard.
It's heartbreaking.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Playing
saying?
hard in a season
in
like
in
this
a
too.
lost season,
Yeah.
you're still playing hard, putting it all on the line.
But I thought
He
that was
will be back.
It was a
he will be back.
heartbreaking moment.
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll get healthy. It just sucks because the recovery sucks, man. And prayers up to him and his support system. You know, y'all send some words of encouragement on X or wherever else y'all can reach him because it's hard times, man. I spoke on it before. Rehab, you feel lonely. So definitely support him.
Because it's just you that's going through.
It's just you, man.
No matter how many training staff
Especially,
and coaches
I mean,
are all over you. Like, you're away from the team for one, and you're just rehab.
I remember, and I know I want to get to this stuff, but when I went through all my stuff, right, I had a bunch of injuries here in Dallas. I had 3 surgeries back to back to back. I came into the league off of a surgery, so I really had 4 straight surgeries, right? Just like, what the heck, man? Just couldn't get over getting injured. Sucked. Nothing that you can control. Got cut here, went to New England, had a good season, no problems there. Released there, got signed by Seattle. Things were going amazing. It's my contract year, right? Went through everything. So now, again, imagine going through 4 surgeries, right? Got fired twice, right? Trying to find out who you are in this league. Finally, now I'm back home playing. Things are going well. They tell me that I'm about to get named captain, and I get my Achilles tore in my contract year.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, you've been through all the
That's a
stuff,
shotgun
right?
blast to
You've
the
been
chest,
through
dude.
all the stuff, dude. Like, you've hopped over the hurdles, you've landed in the puddles, you've done all the stuff, you've climbed out of it, right? You ascended all the way back to the top, and just when everything starts, you start seeing the light, and you're like, oh, there it goes. contract year,
The world falls out.
gone. So I know how much that hurt. So when I saw him, I felt every bit of it. And I don't have a relationship with him like that, and Nate obviously does. So Nate stepped in there, and
He did.
And I'm glad that he has a big homie to be able to talk to him like that, because it's hard, man. Especially he's worked his butt off for this opportunity to be in a position to negotiate a new contract based on his play.
Right.
Now he just lost a lot of leverage, and it sucks.
And things like that. This is why, over the course of the season, one of the main things that I've kind of been shrugging to the side and trying to get people to focus on instead is the execution versus the effort. The effort is there. When you look at, players like Marist Bell and a lot of these other guys, they're still out there giving their best. We can question, and we rightfully do question, like the execution and some of the play calling, are guys where they're supposed to be, and if they are they, taking the right angles and things like that. But when you go out and you look at what Marist Bell did, that's just a microcosm of evidence that they are playing their heart out. They're trying their best, but everything else needs to be cleaned up. So when it comes to an effort question, it's no question for me. Guys like Marist, when you see them just laying it all out for 3 and 6 in a game that's already getting out of hand.
But that's what people didn't understand. You're not only playing for your team, but again, before you play for your team, you're playing for yourself.
You are. And your family.
That's the reality.
And your family.
And you're trying to you've worked your whole life to change your life.
And your family.
And to have that pull from you sucks, man.
And being a contract year, obviously that makes it all the more worse. But you see a guy like Coach Fossil getting emotional talking about him in his presser.
Yeah.
Getting emotional for him and knowing that this is a damn good player.
Yep.
This is a damn good player that put all of his heart and soul into this game, and to go out like that, it's tough. But I think he has a lot of supporters in this building that are going to.
It just from the fans to understand. I know y'all probably like, why are they so? He has to work another 1 to 2 years now to get back to this situation that he's in, that he was in prior to this injury.
Yep.
A lot happens in between there.
Yeah.
A lot. He's not going to have the same coaching staff most likely.
Yeah, potential coaching staff change. What does that mean for him? How do they view him?
It's a lot.
Value.
Sucks.
And then he's trying to prove himself to potentially a new coaching staff coming off of an injury, which means he can't do it immediately versus
New
guys
GM,
who can.
new owner.
And those guys are bringing their guys in, and
it's a lot.
He may or may not get back to this spot, but just head up and keep pushing. This season, as far as the injury bug is concerned, it's not even a bug at this point. It's cracking.
He's not alone in that scenario.
That's what I mean. This is not even the injury.
He's alone
bug.
in his own scenario, but he's not alone in having to deal with that injury scenario with a new coaching staff possibly, and whatever the fallout is from this current 3-7 season that is to follow.
These are locusts, not even injury bugs at this point. These are
It's an infestation.
Right.
All right, when we come back, it's time for some QB vision. Today we preview the Cowboys offense versus Dan Quinn and Joe Ed Jr.'s defensive matchup.
Who are they?
Is that front seven still as dangerous as they once were? Oh, we got a little tease there. When we come back with more Talkin' Cowboys.
If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company. This portion of the show is brought to you by Quaker Oats, the official oatmeal sponsor. Official oatmeal sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Quaker Oats, trusted since 1877.
Buy your oats on the internet using the QR code in the corner there, buddy. The Quaker code. Sorry.
I was about to say, are we just done using Quaker code?
I love Quaker code. Yeah. I just forget it sometimes.
I thought it was super creative. Wasn't it Beam that came up with it? Did you come up with it? You came up with it.
It was me
starting quarterback
in here with the Quaker code.
Yes, now.
And you're apparently Dracula now, too.
I
be.
Drew Lock is furious.
I've been in that position before.
What are we talking about?
What is happening?
He did this, and I was like, he was like, DeVito. I was like, like the Giants quarterback. He was like, that's bad. I was like, Drew Lock's pissed off. Cowboys aren't the only team in shambles.
Yeah, it's a lot.
The team they're going to play on Thanksgiving
next
is
week.
Also in shambles.
Thanksgiving's next week, man.
It is.
Favorite Thanksgiving dish, real quick, before we get into this.
Oh, God, you really doing
You get to
this,
pick one. You pick one.
Stuffing.
You got money. Only got one thing on your plate.
Stuffing.
See, I love stuffing, but it's green bean casserole. I know what yours is.
What do you have?
It's mac and
turkey
cheese.
and berries,
No,
dude.
he's mac
Good
and
for
cheese.
you, man. That's great. You have
turkey,
raspberries. Like, no gravy for me. I'll just have raspberries.
Just put a can in there.
Isaiah.
I think mine.
You
might
don't get
be
to choose, man.
Baked mac and cheese might be mine.
Thank you, Patrick.
Or sweet cornbread. I'm torn between those two.
You're torn between those two.
Yeah.
Sweet cornbread's incredible.
It's unbelievable, especially South Georgia. My mom.
You ever had the cornbread from the Cowboys Club up here?
No.
It's the best cornbread
poor.
I've ever
Never
had.
been. I mean,
at a
like, I don't know what y'all talking about.
What'd you say,
Cowboys Club.
I can't afford
this
to
guy.
be up there.
Ooh.
I can't afford to be up there unless I'm doing a
hotty.
if I'm not on a show, I can't afford to be.
Next time you go up there, get some cornbread.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Beamer, what's your favorite dish? One thing on your plate on Thanksgiving.
Dude, we do a pumpkin dip. I'll have to bring you some.
interesting.
Bro.
You don't get that.
You know what goes really good
Almost
on the
cursed.
pumpkin dip?
Get that nonsense out of
Candy corn and ketchup.
No, man. I'm telling you.
You know what else goes well?
Hey,
with
how about
pumpkin
this?
Dip?
I will
the
bring
trash can.
Bro, I'll bring you some, and you will not put it down. I promise you that. I bet. How much on a bet?
I'll try it. It sounds good to me.
I'll bring it.
it on my side of the tracks,
Not
Beamer.
ever. Come on.
You know what I thought was the most egregious Thanksgiving thing possible? It was so different family, not my family. Different family. They had olives, an olive plate
I would leave.
Are you serious?
for Thanksgiving.
I
was
would
like,
leave, bro.
Why do we have are we
This is at
making
your house?
martinis?
What?
That might be what it is. It could be for
by the way,
martinis.
first of all,
it was
it's
just
all
to
good,
eat
by the way.
olives.
Oh, jeez.
It's not all good.
Hey,
It is all
smoked
good.
mac and cheese.
I love
It's not being.
I love
smoked
Thanksgiving.
mac and cheese for the win.
You like the cranberry out of the can, don't you?
Mac and cheese.
smoked,
No, sir.
smoked mac and cheese.
He
Yeah,
talks
you do.
about it
Yeah, you
every
do.
year, guys.
No, we're not.
Then he brings it up here, and it's like he eats half of the container because it's kind of
I have,
okay.
like, 2 at the house.
And then it's just,
I make
Beamer, are you?
and then
are
you eat the one that's here.
Go ahead.
Beamer, are you the kind of guy who goes for pumpkin pie over sweet potato pie?
No.
Okay.
I'll take a
You've
sweet
been-
potato
you've
pie.
been
This is like a
saved. You've been
pre-dinner
saved.
thing. I'm telling you.
I was
you're gonna love that.
afraid.
But you know
I
what?
was afraid.
Listen, you know where my roots are. Sweet potato pie for the win.
Sweet potato
But
pie.
I have to admit, my first time ever having pumpkin pie, because it was against my cultural rules to ever have pumpkin pie. Costco has.
Costco's got good
Listen,
stuff.
bro. Listen.
Careful,
No.
They're not a sponsor.
Listen.
They're not a sponsor.
Listen.
I
I
hear
hear
you. They're not a sponsor.
I understand. They might be
That's
one
their
after
call.
today. Bro, go there and get their thing, bro.
They're not paying anybody for this advertising.
You
Hey.
meant Tom Thumb, is what
Does
you
Tom
meant.
Thumb have pumpkin pie?
Yeah,
Yep.
They
it's
have their
really
own?
good.
Yep, that's
Oh,
great.
they need to send one here.
I had a pecan pie.
Get the
Pecan pie from. If you're from Georgia, you're from down south. You should embrace.
I have a trauma response for pecan pie. So
Pecan pie.
Yeah, pecan.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's a different
South
way.
Georgia pecan.
South Georgia, yeah.
Yeah, sound.
Okay,
I
how
said
about this?
pecan.
What's the
I-
best leftover?
Oh.
because you're gonna have leftover things.
Mac and
What
cheese.
like
It's still
to
the mac and
warm it
cheese.
up afterwards?
Still the mac and cheese.
I don't
Mac
think
and cheese
it's
or
the mac
sweet
and
potatoes.
cheese.
Sweet potatoes might be
Mashed
It might be the
potatoes.
green bean casserole.
No,
mashed potatoes, green bean
don't-
casserole's fine.
Mashed potatoes, even if they're homemade, they don't
Like the
reheat
cold
as
turkey
well
on a
as the
sandwich
mac and cheese
afterwards
does. The
on,
mac
like,
and
you know.
cheese, pop that back in the oven.
what
It's
is-
like the first time.
Can we get into QB vision? Why are we talking about this?
Talking
Talking about green bean casserole. I kind of want to talk about QB vision.
Sweet
Like,
potato
that's
pie over pumpkin pie.
QB,
Go,
dude, green
QB
bean
vision.
casserole is incredible.
Oh, this is like a
haven't
mashup
had
of what
the
you had
wrong-
left in the
No,
cabinet.
it's
you ready?
not. No, it's
Let's
not.
go, Beamer.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Wide 80. Wide 80. It's time for QB Vision with Isaiah Stanback.
Before you get started, I'm going to have you tie this all together. If you had to compare the Washington Commanders defense to a Thanksgiving dish, what would it be?
Now we're having some fun.
What would the defense be out of all of the things we just said? Would it be a sweet potato pie?
It's
Would
like
it be
if somebody
cranberry
else made your
sauce?
grandma's green bean casserole. You know what I mean?
It's just not as good.
I would say it's a
No, it's just like that tastes like my grandma's, but that's yours. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
you can't do that.
Why'd you copy my grandma?
Because your grandma's in the hospital.
Damn.
Oh, why are we getting dark with
Yeah,
it?
you gotta roll dark with it, man. Don't put that on my grandma, dude. Actually, both of them are gone. So thanks for that.
Save though.
Appreciate it.
We're just
I know.
happening
I'm
here.
with you on that.
Get away.
What do
from
they
me.
compare it to? Isaiah?
This is off the rails. Okay. Hi guys.
Back on the rails.
If they had to be a dish, I would say they're probably sweet cornbread.
Ooh, pretty good.
Why'd you go there?
So they're pretty
I like
good.
Sweet corn
Because
bread.
sweet cornbread is at the top of everybody's dish. I mean, it's at the top of the list, right?
Yeah.
Is anybody anybody who turns down sweet cornbread?
No.
Yes,
Ooh.
I know people.
Seriously?
Sure.
I get
These
them out.
humans?
You should get them out of your life.
Yeah, you got to get them out
Yeah,
of here.
it's the same people that think cilantro is bitter.
Is
you
it
know
the
what I'm saying?
olive people?
It's the olive people.
That
Yeah.
tracks.
They're aliens.
They're
Okay.
Don't you put that evil on the aliens.
They're here.
of the scale
Our
on this podcast are
overlords.
similar to Kyle. Go ahead.
The question coming into this segment was about the defensive line, the front seven of this Washington Commanders defense. Are they as much of a threat as they have been in recent years? And you're alluding to the Bama boys.
I am.
You are alluding to the Bama boys. Well, unfortunately, there's only a Bama boy. One Bama boy. Because one of the boys is missing, right? I believe he tore his pec. I believe that's an injury. And that is Jonathan Allen. That's who we're talking about. He's a monster. Okay, but his bro hammer,
Major Payne.
his bro hammer in Daron Payne is still there, and he is obviously still a pain in offensive lineman's. Ooh, I almost said the R word, but he's a pain in their butt.
Rear? You were going
Nope,
to say
No.
rear?
definitely wasn't gonna go rear.
Okay.
The name of the team.
Leave
I was
it
gonna
be.
go with the
Walk away
anatomy
from
term.
it, Kyle. Walk away from it.
Oh, gotcha.
Their D line is respectable. Their D line is respectable, but I don't think that's the strength of their team any longer. I think the strength of their defense right now is at their linebacker level. I truly do. I think that their defensive front is still solid. Obviously, they have Dorrance Armstrong, who's just being Dorrance right now. Dorrance was always the guy who, when he was given a chance, he always took advantage of it. And now he's given a chance to be the guy out there, and he is being the guy out there. And then, oh yeah, by the way, you brought up his buddy in the form of number 6, Dante Fowler. He's out there doing that do as well. Both of those guys were defensive linemen here last year.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And the year before.
And the year before.
And for
What,
Dorrance, the year
what
before.
if
Was
I
our defense
told
better
you,
last year?
Huh?
Was our defense better last
Yeah,
year?
it was very
Markedly
much.
so.
Well, it's funny that you brought that up. Let's go back and look at it. The defense from last year, Dallas Cowboys, from 2021 to 2023, they averaged 19 points per game given up. In 2024, we're average 29. Okay. Less than one takeaway a game in 2024. Almost 2 takeaways a game, 21 through 23. Opposing QB rating, over 100 in 2024. Over 100. I think the max is what, 120 something like that?
158.3.
There you go. So there you go. Boom. So average over during DQ's era here in Dallas was 80. Defense looks a little different. Dallas always had a top 10 defense under Dan Quinn. Not the case right now. But we're not here to compare that. We're just here to talk about the fact that under Dan Quinn's lineage, it was a top 10 defense in Dallas. He's no longer here. But the stats follow. So Washington Commanders are now a top 10 defense over the past few weeks. These guys have figured it out, right? The first part of the season, they were not a top 10 defense, but guess what? His guys had to figure out who he is. He had to figure out who they were. And since then, they've gotten better.
To add to that, the Commanders' defense generated the third highest pressure rate since Week 5 in the NFL at 41%. After posting the sixth lowest through the first 4 weeks of the year at 27%.
Well, getting better.
So they ramped up the heat. Where is the heat coming from?
Linebackers. There's a dude by the name of Levu.
Frankie Louvu, dude.
Levu, number 4. He's a dude. And he's a dude because these guys up front are allowing him to have run-through lanes. The big defensive linemen, they're doing their thing. When you have Fowler and you have Armstrong that are rushing, the tackles have to flare out and respect those guys and their 9 techniques. Sometimes they stand up. We've seen that before when they were here. And then they allow big DP in the middle to do his thing, and usually he requires 2 guys because he's a horse. What does that allow? Well, now all of a sudden, now there's lanes to run through. And there just happens to be some guys at the second level by the name of Levu. And there's also a number 54 next to him who's just going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, who we also had the opportunity to get, but we chose to sign somebody else for the same amount. His name is
Bobby
Wagner.
Robert Wagner.
He's been playing for 172 years, just leading the league in tackles every single year. I swear he does.
And he's still the 4th overall graded linebacker according to Pro Football.
It's ridiculous, man.
It's really interesting.
He is the picture in the Encyclopedia Britannica of consistency. He just is a tackling machine. He does the right things. He's a great leader. He's a great person. He's smart as all get out. He gets his guys in position, and he doesn't mess up. And now they have a Levu who's next to him who plays with a motor out of this world, and he just runs to the ball.
Dude,
right?
he's violent.
He's violent, man. He doesn't stop. He runs through you.
One broadcaster called him a human crowbar because of how he goes for the ball. It's insane, actually.
That's a phenomenal line.
Great,
yeah.
Like
And he came up with it like on the spot.
Dude, I'm totally going to use
human crowbar. I was like, all right, that's pretty cool.
The jaws of life. Like,
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But he's a dude. In the secondary, okay, they have some names.
Sometimes
they have some names in the secondary that you guys are probably not familiar with, and I don't think that this is their weak point of their defense. Is their secondary. Front 7 is still solid. It's not as solid as it was when they had both of the Bama boys, but that linebacker level, those guys are nasty. Okay, they run and hit. The secondary is where I think they can be taken advantage of, and it's surprising that DQ, even with that defensive backfield, is that the way to say it?
Yep.
Still plays a lot of man-to-man.
Yep.
He still plays a lot of man-to-man. He is staying true to who he is. And I think the Washington Commanders knew that was their weak point of their defense. So if you know that you have a weak area in your defense and every other part of your defense is pretty solid, what do?
Maybe just do a trade?
A trade? Would you like to speak on that, Josh?
Yeah, maybe trade for, I don't know, Marshawn Lattimore?
That's crazy.
Crazy.
You can get Lattimore?
You can get Lattimore.
You would have to give up like a 2nd-round pick to get him.
No, just a 5th.
What?
Yeah, 5th-round pick. You go get Marshawn Lattimore, one of the best cornerbacks in the league?
No, we like using our 4th.
No, come on. All right, so they go out and get Marshawn Lattimore. They bring him to this already solid top 10 defense, in a defense where they're playing man-to-man, and if they are able to play press man, because they are one of the teams that play off in terms of the secondary. They play a lot of man, but it's usually off. And I think they're actually bottom, how can I frame this? They're top 5, depending on how you're looking at it. They give up the most yardage in terms of off coverage, okay? They're averaging 6.8 yards per difference between the receiver and the cornerback. So they're playing man.
They're giving a lot of pad.
There's a lot of padding there, okay? They don't want to. Right? Because if you have a front 7 that's getting after the quarterback and there's space between the receiver and the cornerbacks, then all of a sudden there's space to get open and run routes and run slants and things of that nature. So inevitably you want to take that away. So you go get one of the most aggressive corners in the league by signing Marshawn Lattimore. Now, he was brought on in trade and hasn't touched the field since being brought off in the trade, but I just have a feeling that he might get healthy. He might get healthier sooner than later. And if you see him being healthy sooner than later, he is one to follow.
And on the other side of the field, you have Mikey Saint Ristol. I think that's how you say it. Saint Ristol?
You got there.
Sure. He's a rookie this year. He's actually playing really well. He has only 11 more solo tackles than Trayvon Diggs, and now we talked about it with Beam in the back. And he was very clear that if your cornerback has a lot of tackles, probably not a good thing. However, this dude is getting tackles in the backfield, tackles for loss. This is a rookie that is playing really well.
So you're saying he's an aggressive corner?
He's an aggressive corner, and he's only 5'10", not a Dan Quinn special.
So you have a rookie aggressive corner, and you bring in a veteran, very aggressive corner to teach that young rookie to play more like you.
That is correct.
So in the future, hopefully not this week, in the future, maybe by the end of the year, you're going to have two very aggressive corners that come up and make it difficult for your receivers to get off the line of scrimmage. A front seven that gets after the quarterback and is at the top of the league in terms of pressure rate, and linebackers that run and hit.
Pretty good safety duo, too.
Pretty good. I didn't even touch on the safeties. You got Jeremy Chin. I mean, you got Chin back there. He does his thing.
I like Jeremy Chin.
I like him a lot as well. They got some dudes, man. Their defense is solid. Their schemes, okay, they're running 1, they're running 4, a little bit of 4, they're running some 3. They like to be single high. We know this, right? Fans know this. What you guys have seen from the Dallas Cowboys over the past 3 seasons, that's what they do. Dan Quinn has not changed it much at all. He has different personnel, kind of, in terms of the guys that are outside of Dallas, but he's playing the same defense that you used to love. And he's
familiar with.
That you're familiar with, and that could work to your advantage.
Possibly.
Could work to your advantage if you can get the ball out.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Question mark? Can you get the ball out?
Maybe possibly.
Can you complete it?
Yeah.
The problem.
That's my question.
Yeah.
You did it to Kevontae Turpin once. That worked out.
55 attempts, correct?
Yeah. 55 total on one game.
79 plays?
79 plays, yeah.
What's difficult is that
GB.
They're not excellent at run defense, but
because they're missing a Bama boy.
But it won't be a problem this week. I don't think. I mean, just being honest. We don't stick to the run, so they won't have to worry about that. Another cure for what ails them.
There's another guy that plays cornerback that Dallas probably remembers as well. He was here for a short period of time.
Who dat?
Igbenogany.
I said it, man. All right.
I think you were close. Wait, say it again.
I was close. No, I'm not saying it again.
Say it again. Go for it one more time.
Know what?
No, got to clip it.
Igbenogany.
Nope. Yep. There you go.
Igbenogany.
So no, these guys are good. That's my rundown on them.
Iggy.
I don't think that they do one thing amazing yet, but I can tell you this: if Lattimore finds his way on the field this week, I don't know what the injury report is saying over there.
DNP on Wednesday. He did not participate.
Okay, so
it's a hammy. So
he's been chilling on the hammy, but again, he's been chilling since he got there.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody truly knows where his real status is right now.
If you're not going to see him this time around, you'll probably see him at the end of the year.
But I truly think that once he shows up and steps on the field, he changes the complexity of his defense. He just allows for them to be a lot more aggressive. And
4th, 5th round pick.
Yeah.
Daron Payne is still due.
It's the contracts, man. It's the contracts.
It is.
It's the contracts. It's not what you would have to give up. It's what you would have to continue to pay.
Absolutely.
Well, the thing about it also is not only can you complete passes, but can you make those passes deep down the field? Can you challenge these safeties? Can you make those cornerbacks play backward as opposed to being able to just play mid and forward, or middle and forward, not mid because they're not playing mid, but play middle and forward. Problem is when you talk about Cooper Rush coming in for Dak Prescott, Cooper Rush has yet to complete in 2 games, has yet to complete a single pass beyond 20 yards.
Yeah.
And the defenses are playing like it too. Like you go back and watch the film, these defenses do not respect his ability to put it down the field.
Which is why I harpened yesterday on, yes, Kevontae Turpin and Cooper Rush, they had a 64, 65-yard touchdown, but 57, 58 of those yards were after the catch. Now you're going to need that yak from your receivers, period. You go into each game tasking them with getting you yak, but at the same time, at a certain point, you need air yards from your quarterback on attempts. So he was 0 for 3 on deep balls, which are 20 yards or greater against the Eagles, and he was 0 for 3 against the Texans on deep balls, 20 yards or greater. So until you start getting those deep balls going, stop. Until you start getting those deep throws going, There is no reason for the opposing safeties to play backward or cornerbacks to play backward. And that shortens the field. And what that then does is make it harder for you to run the ball, as if you didn't have a hard enough time running the ball behind an offensive line who's struggling to protect, and now they're injured and dealing with it. So all things lead to the next thing, leads to the next thing. And before you know it, the field is only 9 yards long for the Cowboys offense. And if you're the opposing defense, if you're the commander, I'm doing my best here. I'm trying to. But if you're the commander's defense, if you know you only have to defend vertically 10 or 15 yards, I mean, that's money for you. That's easy money for you. There are tears in his eyes.
Why are you crying? Can we take Isaiah's?
I did my part. I sidestepped all the levels.
I'm laughing at Isaiah. I don't know what's going on. All right. We're gonna give us a call, 888-855-2297. More Talking Cowboys right after this.
These two.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
And we're going to overtime.
Erica, how much have I spent on concessions?
For questions about their money, Dallas Cowboys fans can turn to Erica, the virtual financial assistant in the Bank of America mobile banking app. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/Erica by your side. Bank of America, official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Erica responses may vary. Digital tools featured require downloading the mobile banking app and may only be available on select mobile devices. Erica is a mobile feature only available in the English language. Your chat may be recorded and monitored for quality assurance. Message and data rates and additional terms may apply. Bank of America, N.A., member FDIC.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys. Almost said Talking Tuesday because I heard the phone ringing in the background.
Talking Tuesday,
Talking Tuesday.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Talking all the things.
Talking deep balls
talking
from
deep
Cooper
balls.
Rush. This segment is brought to you by Invisalign, the official smile of the Dallas Cowboys. I was just looking at Isaiah. You did it to yourself then. No, I know. But it was really Isaiah crying. Literal tears down his face that had me off the edge at that last one. But, hey, that's how it goes.
Thank you, Invisalign.
Yep, thanks, Invisalign, the official smile of the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, he did. So we only have time for one call here on a Talkin' Tuesday. We've got Chris in Indianapolis. Chris, you're on Talkin' Cowboys. What's going on?
What's up, guys? First of all, Washington gave up a third, a fourth, and a sixth for Lattimore and got back a fifth.
Got back a fifth.
Thank you for clearing that up.
There you go.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, they gave a third, fourth, and a sixth. But I'm team rest them all. I am team rest them all. Then set them all down.
Set them all down?
Chris,
team tank for Travis.
Shut this thing down.
As bad as we've been playing, we don't even got to try to tank.
So why would you shut him down then?
Well, I don't want anybody to get a major injury.
Okay.
You know? So.
Okay. All
Still
right.
watch them and root for them and be mad when we lose, you know, and throw stuff and break stuff. But what are you going to do? A fan is a fan is a fan.
No doubt. No doubt. Let me ask you this. Do you think Travis Hunter would fix all of the problems that the Cowboys have just with that one pick?
No, but higher draft picks, and I don't think we'd be in the position to get him anyway. But
yeah,
my little boy, 12 years old, absolutely loves him. So he's like, Dad, we need a team fantasy Travis. So I've been on it since he started it.
There you go. There you go.
He knows.
He is fun to watch. I don't think he's the solve-all, especially for this franchise, but he's a good player and he's fun to watch. Appreciate you calling, Chris. Thank you for listening.
Love the show, guys.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you very much.
There he goes, Chris in Indianapolis. He's not alone. People want this to shut it down. That's not happening.
No.
I get it. You don't want to be upset. You don't want to punch your TV. I mean, I've been doing the same thing. And they're like, please leave the press box. And I'm like, no. You know what I mean? It's uncouth.
They tell me that when I sneeze.
Yeah.
Just say, get out.
A couple times.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. But, yes, the Travis Hunter conversation, I mean, I know the draft show is probably on the horizon sooner rather than later, but
no,
we're
no,
3-7. It's just part of it.
No,
so
they're going to finish 10-7.
There will be conversations to talk about Travis Hunter and talk about where they're going to go in the first round. I don't know if Travis Hunter's that guy. I really don't. I think he's a great pick. I think he's top 5 worthy. Don't get me wrong. But for Dallas, you're going to spend your top pick on a really good corner that's maybe going to play a couple snaps at wide receiver. Maybe. I don't know.
The pick has to be the Zach Martin pick.
Got to be offensive line.
Yep.
Okay.
Again.
I think you can fix your entire offensive line with one selection in the NFL draft, Texas. And you don't have to be any higher than you are right now,
Texas,
in order to get there. Yes, sir, Mr. Kevin Banks Jr. All right, when we come back tomorrow, it is a Say It With Your Chest Friday. We will say it with our chest and lead you in to the Dan Quinn reunion. Quinn versus McCarthy in Week 12. Cowboys and Commanders will have pick'ems, and we'll have high-fived for you tomorrow to talk through as well. For Patrik No C. Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Isaiah Stanback, Chris Beam in the back, I'm Kyle Youmans. We will see you tomorrow with more Talking Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!